Nah, you fucking on this shit. What?
Everybody,
You don't
this is
even
Connie.
know. She was acting crazy.
This is Art.
She was acting crazy.
He always says that.
Nah, you don't even know. She wanted this to be perfect for y'all. It's crazy. I'm not gonna say nothing because I'm a fucking OG. Let's go.
I was just putting on some hand lotion.
I'm sure you could all appreciate.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the Get Up Team podcast.
That's right.
This is Connie.
Sorry.
And today we're going to talk about social media and some studies that were done on how it might contribute to anxiety and loneliness and fear of missing out.
The young people's fucking soup. Because I don't even know how to talk about it. So we're going to figure out what the data suggests, and then I'm going to talk about it. Trust.
Well, let's see. What does it say? Well, it says that almost 3 billion people are on social media. That's a lot of people. That's like...
She's going to be going down this list of shit. She don't even know if it
always...
resonates with her yet. Listen, I don't care who's on it. What we need to talk about is why it matters so much that you see a capsule of my life. And the fact that an HR person needs to Google you before they hire you. These are the things that we're going to talk about.
Oh, well, LinkedIn, I mean, when we get people's resume, it comes the resume, LinkedIn, and usually their website or something like that.
Right.
Not necessarily their Facebook or anything, but LinkedIn for sure.
If there's an HR person out there that doesn't put that name in there, if you're actually considering a candidate, you put that name in that search engine, don't you? Yeah, you do. Yeah,
Well, I mean, you look at people's LinkedIn. I do, just to see who they are.
No, I'm not.
Or if I'm
not
with
Googleable.
someone, I look up who they are.
I'm not Googleable.
But it's also on the resume. It's when people don't put their address anymore. They put their phone number, their LinkedIn page.
Is that right?
IMDb.
I haven't done a resume for a long time, so I trust what she's saying.
But yeah, that's the thing. You put your LinkedIn link on there.
Hmm.
Well, that's what the resume coach, they said, oh, you don't need your address.
Is that what the resume coach said?
Yeah. They redid my when I got laid off. They had these resume
This is a resume
coaches.
coach. That's what I need because I don't even know how to do it.
Yeah, so it was like your LinkedIn page. And then because I work in the film industry, it's the IMDb page, my phone number, and my email.
That's
and
it.
no address anymore because nobody, it's not relevant.
Well, what I've learned is that there's a lot of vetting that goes out at the highest levels of this hiring game, and even if you have nepotism involved, like I do, don't matter. They still checking you out. They're doing background checks. They're doing all kinds of shit on you just to see if you can even be qualified to be around. Don't matter if you relatives or somebody, or fucking sisters or brothers or wife of anybody. I mean, well, wife is different, but you know. It's real rough out there, but social media is a different thing, right?
Yeah, social media
is a different
So
thing
this is
because
really
there's people that are
talking
dealing with it. Yeah.
Well, let's see. I mean, here you keep talking. I'll take. It just talks about like that it releases dopamine. So like people checking their social media, and when you get a comment or a like or something, it releases dopamine, and how this is very addictive. And how people are becoming addicted to this dopamine release. And it's more powerful than like alcohol or other stimuluses.
You wouldn't even think that chemicals are being released when you get that like or that follow, but it's happening. Right?
Yeah.
Listen, y'all have to know that this is not a fluke, man. It's like every single bit of data that you have on your phone and that you do with these social media sites, starting with Facebook, but even with MySpace before that and all this other stuff, it's all data acquisitions, and it's used in very profitable ways that won't mess with most people. But if you think that you don't have a bit of information underneath the ocean somewhere that is all about you,
oh, no, everything we do on social media is being tracked.
and if they want to go back in time and check you out, they will.
Erased. It's out there somewhere.
It's on a farm.
Somebody's server somewhere.
It's underneath the water, inside mountains. Yeah.
Into the desert.
Into the desert, yeah. So this social media stuff was created for connectivity, but it was also created for data mining.
Well,
That's just
yeah, I
normal.
mean, the internet was originally created by the government.
Military, yeah, absolutely.
Originally, as a way of communicating, and now it's like being used by everybody.
So why
And
do
it's
people
one of
think
those
there was no
things
plans?
where people think like, oh, we're being listened to, but we opted in. It's not like, you know, Big Brother had to like bust down the door and like
There's a
whatever.
great
we opted
South.
in.
There's
We
a
paid for it. We're
this-
like, oh, I need the latest phone, iPhone, whatever, 5G, and
South Park said it. South Park had
so
Steve
every
Jobs when he was still
search we're
alive.
doing,
He was like,
every
"You
thing
said I
we're-
agree. You said I agree." It's like, who reads that shit? It's like, you said you agree. Now I'm gonna make you the human centipede. So basically, you had one person at the front of the centipede or centipede that was eating unquestionables, and it was shitting into Kyle's mouth, and Kyle was eating it, and then Kyle was forced to eat it and shat it into another girl that was behind her mouth, and then it would come up on the pad. Bing! That's what that was. It was ridiculous, right? But it was that's what South Park does. It talks about social commentary in an exaggerated way so that we really understand what we're doing. You opted in, like you said.
Oh, we bought in. We didn't just opt in. We paid for it.
Lock, stock, and 2 fucking bedrooms, right?
Exactly. All right. Well, I guess we could talk about some of these things about like this impact on self-esteem. I guess sometimes people think like I don't know. It's true that people post like the good things that happen. I mean, you don't post every moment of your life, but only things that might be like memorable or something that you want to recall or something that you want to announce to people. So I don't know if you're announcing every little thing, but at the end of the day, I mean, I've seen people like talking about, and I'm like, I don't even really know what you did for dinner. What you? I don't need to know all that. But it says, well, one of the things that they said was there was a study done that says 9 out of 10 young females said that they're unhappy with the way they look. But I don't know if that's a new thing. I think that's kind of been going on since advertising.
Yeah.
You know, where they say, hey, you should look like this, or your life should be like this. And that's hard to live up to. I mean, the advertising in itself is hard to live up to.
And I am a horrible person to ask about these things.
Yeah. But maybe we're like, instead of like us like being, you know, feeling bad because of advertising, now it's because of it's our peers.
That's like your whole shit. I know
yeah,
you at
like,
work. You look like you living a better life than me.
To the Joneses times, you know, exponentially.
That's what I think it is. That's actually smart right there. Like it's just like I actually know you in real life. It was different when it was Jennifer and Benifer and all this shit. But once I know you in real life and your shit looks better than mine, I'm kind of jelly.
Yeah, got it. You're like looking like, oh, okay. But then also,
that shit ain't real
gotta
though.
Take it for like a grain of salt, because like not everyone's announcing every little thing.
And the stuff they're posting ain't really the whole truth. It ain't the whole truth.
No, I mean I might post something. You're posting like, hey, we were, you know, I mean back in the day.
I was at this event. I was with these people.
This event, yeah, or like I had this, you know, party or whatever. I mean, you're not necessarily posting like, oh, today I was really depressed.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not posting that.
Well, people
but
do
that's kind of
it.
like private stuff, I feel like.
Right, because you know what? You know, as lovely and young as I look, I've been around these planets for a minute. And we didn't used to put all our bullshit out there like that. Especially as men, and I'm going to say this, especially as black men, you don't put no soft shit out there. That's just how it was when I grew up. It's different now. It's like you can cry on fucking Instagram and talk about your whole troubles, and people heart it and share it and say, this is so strong, you're so amazing, I can't believe that you would share this. I wasn't raised to do it, but I'm not mad at that you can do it. I'm just saying that that's not something I even do naturally.
Out there. I wouldn't share that kind of stuff. But I don't share that kind of stuff anyway, so.
Yeah, you're not a sharing
put it out there on social media.
Yeah. But don't you think that, like, right now, with social media, it's like somebody was talking about the other day, that she was sequestered or quarantined in her house. Not quarantined, but she was sequestered in her house, and her husband was in Florida and she was in LA, and then another part of her parents were in Europe, and she was just so sad that she started crying that she couldn't see any of them. I don't know if you understand how lonely I am right now, and I just can't see my husband. He's over here, and my family's over there, and I don't even know. And other people were like, shut the fuck up, bitch. You can eat and fly private and do all this other shit. What are you talking about? Like, what are your problems right now? Your husband's gonna come back, your family's doing well because they're in Europe. What the fuck are we talking about? I don't like that shit.
Was she, you don't like that she was whining or
I don't like that she was whining and complaining about it. Or you don't like that
people were like...
I don't like that she was whining and complaining about it.
Not being sympathetic. And then, I mean, was it just random people?
Nah, I mean, it's enough person to be on the web about it. So obviously she's a life of privilege already. So what are you talking about? I don't like that shit.
Well, I mean, probably a lot of people were going through that.
Yeah, bitch. I can't go back to Ohio and I gotta fly coach and I don't even have a private jet.
Oh, was she a private jet kind of person?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Does that matter though?
Well, I mean, if you have a private jet, it's like not the same as like just having to go to the airport.
Then what the fuck is she bitching about? That's why we have a problem with her ass. Fuck her.
I mean, I haven't been back to see any of my friends in Oakland for a year and a half.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I'm going on 2 years now.
I haven't seen my fucking folks. Man. My sister's been through all kinds of surgeries. My fucking father's getting into more dementia. I don't give a fuck. I can't fly right now. I couldn't fly last November. That's for damn sure.
No.
I'm trying to figure it out this year.
For a year and a half, I finally saw him like last month.
Yeah.
My dad turned 100.
Yeah.
So my brother flew down and I guess it's been a year and a half since we saw each other.
That's what I'm saying, man. So all that bullshit. Social media makes you think it's like keeping up with the Joneses type shit.
Well, I mean, it's like double-edged because people are putting all their stuff out there, but then you get all the comments, and sometimes people are agreeing with you, and then there's other people that are not agreeing with you. I mean, it's kind of, you're out there for both sides to comment, right? Because 3 billion people are online. How many people are seeing her posts? So it's going to be both sides, right? I'm sure there were people out there that were sympathetic, and then there was all the other people that were not sympathetic.
Well, that's the whole thing about creating content, folks. Create your content, put it out there. Half of people gonna hate it, half people gonna like it. Yeah, and there's a lot of people on the planet Earth. Ants are marching all the time. Ants are marching all the time. Just create and put it out there. Trust me when I tell you, that's why we do this stuff. We know we're gonna find our audience. We're glad you're here because you give a fuck about what we have to say and it maybe resonates with you. But if it doesn't, then move along. It's okay too. Move the fuck along. Because social media makes you feel like those likes, those hearts, all that stuff validates you in some weird way. It makes you, do you even know how many followers I have? I was like, no, bitch, I don't.
Oh, I don't. Yeah. I don't know how many I have.
I have 60.
So do you check? I don't check.
No. Yeah. You need to check because you need to like our shit at least.
I'm the worst.
You're the worst.
I am the worst.
You're the worst. But yeah, I mean, if I don't have nothing that's got a pony in it, I'll hire somebody to do it. You know? Which I think is disingenuous in a kind of way. So if you go to at I am Art Dixie, that's all me. That's why I got 60 followers. And I probably got 30 posts. Trust me, I give no fucks. No fucks. But I know that this is the future and it's not going anywhere. I thought it was going to go somewhere. I really, really did. I really thought after MySpace it couldn't be anything better. Then Facebook happened. I thought like, nothing could else ever. But then Twitter and Instagram happened. I'm like, no. This can't be.
I know.
I don't give a fuck about Snapchat and all that other shit. But these staples, this is the future.
Twitter is like the thing.
Oh, and TikTok. Let's go.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of money behind that.
Cool.
I mean, that's all of China.
All of China. And China has its own version of TikTok and they still are getting money from TikTok. That's what's up. That's your peoples. You know that, right?
That's peoples, yes.
My peoples didn't do TikTok. Her peoples did. That's what it's up. Let's go. Well,
right.
What you see?
What?
It locked.
Come on. Here.
Wait. Let me do this right.
Okay.
It's a multifaceted phenomenon is what this says. The statistics suggest that it will come to play an increasingly dominant role in our lives, which is what I was saying. The evidence suggests that social media use is strongly associated with anxiety, loneliness, and depression. Whether it's casual or just a correlation will need to be further examined, but further examined by researchers, mental health policy, stakeholders in the social media industry. In the meantime, we must think very carefully about how we can manage its impact on our own mental health. For instance, through integrating social media lessons into subjects in school, the use of behavioral economics, and increased signposting efforts by social media firms. See, passing the buck. That's what the shit is. Once again, they're gonna put it on somebody else. Like, really, when you're in school, you're gonna have to go to a social media. You remember you had home economics and you had shop? That's what I grew up. That's what I grew up with. Now you're gonna have social media training.
Oh, that's interesting.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I guess, what are they training? Like how to be on social media in an intelligent way, how not to post like things that are gonna come back to haunt you in 10 years. What do we?
You tell me. Do you think it's a good idea? No.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just like it's becoming a life skill. It's like having a checkbook back in the day. Like, okay, this is how you fill out a check.
We don't date ourselves here. We don't date ourselves around here. Remember when you had a checkbook and a bank ledger? Remember that? No, you don't. What's wrong with y'all? Why do you need so much coddling? Why do you need to be fucking affirmed so much?
Well, yeah, but I guess somebody needs to tell people what to say and what not to do. Remember when like kids were posting like, "Hey, we're having a party," and they posted on Facebook, and 1,000 people would show up.
I've never been on Facebook my whole fucking life.
Had to be like, okay, we got to put a stop on that, right?
She was a little more rowdy than I give her credit for, I guess. She was going to Facebook parties. I've never had a Facebook.
You never heard about that?
I was doing way more shit. Right? I was doing way more shit by age 20 than most motherfuckers even. So that's who I am. So that's why I don't talk too much about it. I think it's bullshit though. If you got a girl like her that's trying to go to the fancy Facebook party and just gonna be like,
well, no, this is like when
she was doing it. She was doing it, and she's a good girl. She actually was. She did life right. She got the best degrees. She got the best shit. She's dope. She was doing nasty shit. Trust. That's what I imagine anyway.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about? They just did the Facebook parties. What is that?
No, when there were like kids that were having birthday parties and they posted it on Facebook like, oh, we're having our kid party. And then all of a sudden, like, all these people would show up just because they saw it on Facebook. It wasn't like it was like a Facebook posting. Like, oh, I'm having a birthday party, like teenagers, right? And then all of a sudden, like,
others would come that weren't invited.
But just a lot of people would show up.
Don't you just send it to your friends?
Well, back in the day, people would just post stuff on their Facebook page. Like, oh, I'm having a party on Friday. And, not knowing that not really understanding like the numbers of people that would go to, and then all these people would show up.
Let me tell you something.
Right?
I talked to my mom sometimes. She's like, your brother did something on Facebook. I said, I didn't see shit. I didn't see shit.
Back in the day, you'd invite all your classmates and do this like 30 people, 50 people, or whatever. But this like was on social media. So then like, I don't know, 1,000 people showed up or some crazy number. Right. Some unbearable number where the parents were like, like, where are all these people coming over, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. All I know is that the validation for people that I deal with when I deal with staff or when I deal with people that I'm trying to get with that are under the age of 30, it's all about their follows and likes and putting their whole life on blast, which to me is a Kardashian ripple effect. No hate on them. And also a ripple effect from the Real Housewives and just even just Big Brother stuff from back in the day when we were 2002. Like, this is like, just put your whole life on Blastville, and that's supposed to be cultural real estate and also guap. Yeah, the real estate from that is how many people give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck why they give a fuck about you, but we will pay you to put our product on blast if you got this many people giving a fuck about you. And that's the fucking future.
So what do you think about like how they talk about like fear of missing out and people like having to watch, like always be on social media to see what's going on? Or this idea, like, do you ever see people's posting and you're like, damn, I wish I was doing that, or I wish that
I was going to put that on you because I give no fucks. So what do you think about it? You follow the rules more than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on social media that much, but I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you're like, oh, I wish I had done that.
Why didn't you do it?
Oh, I mean, I just don't, you're just not there, right? Like, people are at some event or having some certain kind of life situation. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it's not, I mean, yeah, you can see things on, and you think, oh, yeah, maybe that would have been cool to, like, have that in my life or something. I don't know.
What's funny is that even us doing this.
Posting their new cars, you're like, oh, that's a nice car. Okay, they're like posting up about their new house or something. You're like, oh, that's kind of cool.
I want to do that. That's my next thing. When y'all see me on the next thing, I'm going to be having a realtor showing me some spaces. Let me tell you though, the only reason I'm going to do it is because I've been talking shit about it for a few years. And here's the other thing. Why do we care about what other people are doing so much? We shouldn't, right?
No, but that's what they're saying, that on social media you get to see all these things that all these other people are doing, and then it could make you feel like, oh, I should be doing that. It kind of, like, that's already existing, but now it's like exponentially worse because now you're seeing so many more people doing those things.
When I get to our shit that I gotta do, I do it like a job. So I go to all 3 of my accounts. Yeah, the one that doesn't give a fuck about Insta got 3 accounts, but I go and nobody follows them, and if they do, fuck it. I go search, get up team, see what the fuck pops in from our girl in Atlanta. It goes in, I heart it on my personal site, I share it and heart it, and on my other corporate site, I heart it. Then I'm done. I don't even see what's going on. Not my bro, not my sisters and everything. If I see my sister, Simply Davina, I talk about it because of her cancer shit, but that's about it. And that's what's so funny about it. It's like, I do care about you motherfuckers, but I don't give that much of a fuck about you motherfuckers. Like, I really don't. And I need to express that for you. And I think they give it back to me because they don't give a fuck about what I'm doing either. It's reciprocal. It's like, fuck you too. I'm like, I get it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta be better. I gotta be better.
Okay, there we go. We both gotta be better about social media, but I guess, I don't know what to say.
Does it make you feel like you have to play the game to the letter because you don't want to get caught slipping?
I'm just
because
not
10
on.
years ago you said some shit and people don't even allow you to evolve with social media.
But I guess I just feel like if I'm going to post something, it should be something useful. Like, I don't want to just post random stuff about, oh, I went here today, I ate this for dinner, I'm cooking this. Like, I feel like it should be something that is like insightful or useful or something.
Well, that's where you have it wrong.
I guess
completely. It's not about those meaningful moments at all. That nobody gives a fuck about that it has meat and potatoes. Nobody gives a fuck. Listen.
You want to see what I made for dinner?
Yeah. They want to know that you had trauma after that. This guy that I was dating was a fucking asshole, and I told him to fuck off. They love that. You'll get like 78 million views on that. Not literally, but...
I can post some messages.
You can show some messages about butthurt dudes. I'm one of them. This fucking life is about like strife. It ain't about the good shit. Nobody want to hear the good shit.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the reality of life. There's like good stuff, but then there's also the other stuff. All the work you did to get there.
Yeah. And that's what you think people want to know about. But no, there's a masterclass for that. And you'll pay that subscription fee for that masterclass versus listening to me on my feed. I'm like, let me tell you about how this really goes in real life. You don't want to hear it from me. You want to hear it from Morgan Freeman or fucking David Geffen or somebody, right? Serena Williams. Those masterclasses are chill like that, but you have to understand, take it from us. We're doing it in real time. The Get Up team is about people that are doing it in real time. You're going to be so glad you're following us right now because you're going to see us come up. You're going to see us do some amazing shit. That's real.
All right. Ready?
Why are you just cutting it off?
Oh, okay. What else do we have?
You had 24 minutes up here.
Oh, okay. Well, what else do we have?
I want to know.
I thought we had segments or something. Were you going to do segments?
We have to do segments.
Oh, okay. All right. What's our segments? Or what do you want to know?
Nothing. come back for us next week. We're gonna be doing segments. So for now, we're gonna sign off.
This is Connie.
This is Art.
And this is the Get Up Team.
Remember to eat some sunshine for breakfast. And
don't be a sleep sheep.